Good morning and welcome to my blog, Wisdom for Today. And now we're just 2 weeks out from Thanksgiving. And the last two blogs before we go to Thanksgiving, I like to dedicate to different proclamations of American presidents and leaders at Thanksgiving time. And one thing I hope you notice as I've read these proclamations is not all of the proclamations had to do with the Pilgrim's first winter. And you remember that story. It's when the Ponca people and the Oregon people helped the Pilgrims through that first harsh winter. And that's one of the proclamations that I read that are still important. But some of the proclamations were given during times of great hardship. And we have a proclamation that was given in the midst of World War I. There's a proclamation that was given in the midst, at the end of the Depression. And then there was a proclamation that was given as we entered the Depression, also a proclamation that was given in the midst of the Civil War. And each of these presidents and leaders sought to talk about how our Thanksgiving isn't dependent on just good things, but on recognizing the good things we have and recognizing that good things are in the hands of our God. Now, if you want to listen to all my proclamations on Thanksgiving, just go to @CherylKincaid5643. That's my website. And go to the playlists. And under the playlists, you will find one of the playlists for Thanksgivings. And click on the videos there and you'll see them all. So the proclamation I'm going to read to you today is by Harry Truman. And it's at the end of World War II. We just won the victory. I count it a privilege that I grew up just in the shadow of that war. And in the church that I grew up, we had a lot of veterans from that war. I lived in a place in San Diego called Brooklyn Heights, and it was named Brooklyn Heights, even though it was in California, because so many people from the war moved out there from Brooklyn. And it started to be called Brooklyn Heights. And I can remember as sitting in church, and there was a man whose face was burned, whose jaw was purple, and it hung loosely. He couldn't close his mouth. I remember another man who was in a wheelchair, and another man who wore a patch. And I remember them talking about the hard days of the war. So Harry Truman is going to talk about the victory over this war, but also remind us where goodness and peace really comes from. So, Thanksgiving Day, 1945, by the President of the United States of America, a proclamation. In this year of our victory, absolute and final, over German fascism and Japanese militarism, in this time of peace so long awaited, which we are determined with all the United States to make permanent, on this day of abundance, strength, and achievement, let us give thanks to Almighty Providence for these exceedingly good blessings. We are born with the courage and the blood of our soldiers and sailors and airmen. We have won them by sweat and ingenuity of our workers and farmers and engineers and industrialists. We have won them with our devotion of our women and children. We have bought them with the treasure of our rich land, but above all, we have won them because we cherish freedom beyond riches and even beyond life itself. We give thanks with the humility of free men, each knowing that it was the might of no one arm, but all together which we were saved. Liberty knows no race, no creed, or class in our country or in the world. In unity we found our first weapon, for without it, both here and abroad we were doomed. None have known this better than our very gallant dead. None better than our comrade, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Our thanksgiving has the humility of our deep mourning for them, our vast gratitude for them. Triumph over the enemy has not been dispelled, but with every difficulty. Many vital and far-reaching decisions await us as we strive for just and enduring peace, and we will not fail if we persevere in our land and throughout the world with the same devotion to essential freedoms and rights of humankind which now sustain us and have sustained us through the war and brought us victory. Now, therefore, I, Harry S. Truman, President of the United States, in joint resolution with our Congress, approve December 26, 1941, and do hereby declare the Thursday of December 22nd, 1945, as a National Day of Thanksgiving. May we on that day in our homes and in our places of worship, individually and as a group, express our humble thanks to Almighty God for the abundance of our blessings, that we may on every occasion rededicate ourselves to those high principles of citizenship for which so many splendid Americans have given all. In witness thereof, I set my hand and the seal to the United States to be affixed. Freedom is free, but it is not cheap, and people have paid for it. But even in our sacrifice, let's remember the Almighty God who gave us the freedom we have in Jesus Christ. I hope to see you this Sunday in church. God's blessings, and have a good day.